Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. As I record this video compared to yesterday's one, I'm now up to 130 subscribers here on YouTube. So yeah, if you can hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Help me out. Help me get to that magic 1,000 at some stage in the next 5 years or so. But anyway, if you can do it, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. So, deck tech today. Today's deck tech is something a little bit different. Well, not really. It's another Dominus, and it's one of the ones I haven't covered yet. So, without me rambling on for too much longer, today's one is Mondrak Glory Dominus, 2 and a double white for a 4/4 Phyrexian Horror, which we're all expecting. And it's basically the new token commander. It's the mono white token commander, because once you get a token into play, you can create twice those tokens instead. And then 1 and 2 white Phyrexian mana. Sacrifice 2 other artifacts or creatures, get an indestructible counter on Mondrak, which isn't that difficult to do entirely with a token deck that you're trying to focus on in Commander Land. So, how are we going to do it? Well, the deck itself is this. Oop, hold on, that's come up on the wrong page. There we go. 36 lands, 24 creatures, 39 other things. The lands are the usual. Well, I say the usual. There's a lot of planes, as you can imagine. It's a mono white deck. And then there's obviously the Temple of the False God and Reliquary Tower, as you'd expect to see in my decks. And Windbrisk Kites is here for this one. Along with Nykthos, because I think I've said it enough times now. If you're playing a mono deck, Nykthos is at home there. Path of Ancestry is here. Inventor's Fair is here, so we've got a lot of artifacts. Foundry of the Consoles is a new one that I haven't played very often on stream. But, you know, paying 5 eventually and maybe getting at least 2 Thopters, maybe 4, maybe more, is really nice. Obviously, because of what we're playing, we're going to have Field of the Dead in here. Because, you know, zombies, okay, they're black, but, you know, it's a Phyrexian deck. Phyrexia would have zombies in some description. Fable Passage to help the land out. Emeria, the Sky Rune. We are playing mainly planes in the deck, therefore it's worth having this here. Egilano, the castle, to prevent some damage to the legendary creatures until we can get, especially Mondrak, until we can get the indestructible counter on them. Command towers here, just for the usual selection. Castle Ardenvale, because it produces tokens, and we want to double up the tokens. And then I've gone with Broker's Hideout and Cabaretti Courtyard, just to go and find those planes when we need them, you know. Help trigger our Emeria if we can. But as you can imagine, because Mondrak is obsessed with tokens, a lot of the cards in the deck are token producers. So, but there's a few extra bits I've put in because I think you need to be able to keep yourself alive. So, here we go. First one, going through the 1-drops, we've got Authority of Consuls, just gain a bit of life. Cleric class to double up on that life where we can, and obviously chuck some +1/+1 counters around. Herald of Anathenza's in. Pay the outlast cost, and you get to do a 1/1 white creature token, which is quite nice. And you can pay the outlast cost, if I remember correctly, a few times. So you can just keep tapping it, getting the 1/1s, making Herald a little bit bigger. Legion's Landing gives us our 37th land eventually. It is fairly easy to attack with 3 creatures with this deck. So having this here to then have the vampires that you can keep on playing with Mondrak seems like a good plan. Little bit of control in the face of Path to Exile. And then some more life gain with Soul's Warden and Soul's Attendant. And obviously the ramp, Soul Ring, should have done this first really. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Marble Diamond. That's what we're going for the ramp. We've got a couple of other things that help with that. Into 2-drop, Anointed Priest, because we're making tokens, we might as well gain some life off them. Impassioned Orator is also here for a bit more life gain. And then some of the things that hope. And then obviously Intangible Virtue is one of the things that really does help our tokens out. Makes them a bit bigger, gives them vigilance. Along with that, you know, raise the alarms here, Server Exhibition. They're the ones you'd expect to see at 2-drops. Sutra Priest is also here. There's quite a nice, it's a more complicated one to use, I have to say. You gain a life when your creature enters the battlefield, but when one of your opponent's creatures enters the battlefield, they lose a life. So, yeah, does tend to attract a lot of removal, but it does do its job. I've got Altar of Dementia in here. Now, you're probably wondering why this is here. One of the things I found with token decks is at some stage you have someone playing loads and loads of big creatures against you and you just can't do anything about it. Altar of Dimension, if we can make enough tokens, gives us a little bit of an alternate win condition, which I'm interested in trying out. I'm quite happy to sacrifice my tokens to mill cards when they're going to die anyway, so let's just do it from that point of view. That's why it's here. The other one, Captain's Claws, is the only bit of, well, one of the 2 bits of equipment in the deck. Obviously, if you know what it does, it's great. You understand it. You get to have tokens come into play when you attack with the equipped creature, hence why it's here. So another way of making tokens, which we want to do. You know, Mondrak tokens. We want to do it. We want to make tokens where we can. Bygone Bishop gets us to investigate. Now, obviously, with Mondrak in play, this means we get 2 clues to investigate with. So, you know, doubling up things seems like a cunning plan. Halo Fountains here. I'm still trying to do a win with Halo Fountain, I'll be honest. But, you know, we can untap a creature, get a 1/1 green-white citizen creature token, or maybe 2 of Moondraks in play. So, seems like a plan. Bit of card draw, and hopefully at some stage we'll get 15 tapped creatures. We can pay the 5 mana, untap the Halo Fountain, and just win the game that way. I'm still aiming to do it. Hopefully I will at some stage. But we will see. Inspiring Leaders in from Battle for Baldur's Gate as well. We might as well have this in. Creature tokens you control get +2/+2 when you have Mondrak in play. So, you know, it's worth, I think it's worth a slot to have this in here. Call Celebrant for a bit more life gain. Marvin Fane Dusk Apostle. Yes, I know there's not that many non-vampires in here, but, you know, even if you just attack with this guy, you get another vampire. Or maybe 2 vampires. Or maybe more than that. Oath of Gideon to help us get some all tokens. You know, there is at least 1 more Planeswalker in the deck. Over here, we've got Elspeth here. So, you know, Elspeth coming in a little bit bigger is nice and gets us to that nice -7 really quickly. Parava the Steel Legion. A nice one to sink your mana into from Nykthos, because it's not a sorcery ability. It's just whenever you've got 4 mana, you can just make a soldier token. And hopefully with you get your Nykthos in play, you'll be able to have a lot of mana floating around to be able to do this with, hence why it's here. Adelaine, Resplendent Cathar, another token generator, which is what we want. Academy Manufacturer. That's basically here because of Bygone Bishop. I was trying to find a way of doing food and treasures. There's not that much in white that does it, but I figured we might as well have it in here. Purely for the Bygone Bishop, we might as well have the extra tokens. And if we can get this and Bygone Bishop into play and drop, creatures with mana value 3 or less, which we still have a few of, you know, there's a few in here. Getting the treasure might help us ramp a little bit more, so I'm trying it out. Another one to sacrifice our tokens to is Ashnod's Altar to ramp us up for some more mana and get up to some of the big things we've got coming. Magnifying Glass, another way to investigate. It's also ramp, hence why it's here. Orketra's Monument. I think people forget about these from Amonkhet. Was it Amonkhet? Yeah, it was. White creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, like that plan. And whenever you cast a creature spell, you get a 1/1 white warrior creature token. That's automatic. It doesn't matter if the spell's cancelled because it's a cast trigger, not enters the battlefield one. So the monument's always worth looking at if you're playing something like this. The other altars here as well. I've chucked in Phyrexian Altar because then we can sacrifice some of our tokens for white mana if we need it. And Sword of Body and Mind gives us a wolf token when we attack. Yes, it's green, but it's a wolf token and we get to mill. But blue and green tend to be the things I have problems with when I play mono white decks, hence why I've put this one in. It's the only other bit of equipment in the deck, and it does produce a token, so I was keeping with the theme as much as possible. Speaking of tokens, there's Anointed Procession. Yeah. Anointed Procession and the wonderful word of Academy Manufacturer are very, very good for you. Just trust me, it works really well. Benelish Commander. This is here to suspend so we can get those nice soldier tokens coming in off it. If we have to play it, then we have to play it. But at the end of the day, 4 mana for 1/1's not good if you haven't got any of the soldiers in play. Suspending it for as much mana as you can sink into it to get those soldier tokens is a lot better, believe me. Speaking of which, Ellen Harbury's Busybody. This is nice because you can look at the top X cards of your library, depending on how many tokens you've created in a turn, and then you get to put it in your hand. You can create a lot of tokens and have a good look at the top cards of your library and go and find that card you need to hopefully save you from whatever's happening around you. Felidar Retreat, I expect everyone expected to see. Landfalls, fantastic. 2/2 White Cat Beast tokens, even better. Likewise, Miriel. I know I've done a whole Miriel deck before. Go back through my YouTube channel if you're a new subscriber. Have a look at the deck tech for that. When we attack, we get all those nice colourless soldier artifact creature tokens, which does help make Benelish Commander that much better, by the way. But yeah, it's here, and it does help, and it does mean if we get this in play, your opponents can't do the cast spells and activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. So you do get to make sure you get your attacks in, and you can just look at what you're losing creature-wise from that point of view. Orchetra the True, can't attack or block unless you control 3 other creatures. Yes, you'll control them, and it's another way of creating warrior tokens. Smothering Tide is one of the few ways of getting treasures in white, hence why it's here. It's one of the cards, if you've listened to any podcasts recently, it's been discussed a lot. I still think it's a reasonable card in white. Yes, it's expensive in real life. It's not too hideously bad on MTGO. I would recommend getting one on MTGO if you haven't got one and you're playing a lot of white decks. The treasure is just fantastic. Yes, people get annoyed paying the 2 mana, and a lot of people do start paying it eventually. But until they start doing that, you are going to have some little way of ramping. Court of Grace gives us a token every turn, and if we're still the Monarch, we get to have an Angel token, which is even better. And obviously with Mondrak or Anointed Procession, we get lots of them, so bear that in mind. Day of Judgment's in just for a bit of board control. And Leyline of the Meek is a gamble. If we got it in our opening hand, fantastic. We get to play it for free. Really helps ramp up our Nykthos with the two white symbols to start with. If we haven't got it in our hand, well, just play it when you get it. Pumping his creature tokens is always good fun. Likewise, Rabble Rousing. When you attack, you get all those little 1/1 green and white citizens tokens, so it's worth doing. And it says whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures, it doesn't say non-token, so the token creatures will trigger it, which means you'll get even more token creatures and so on and so forth. And hopefully you can get the exiled card played really quickly. Cathar's Crusade is probably the most standard enchantment you can see in any mono white deck or mono white token deck or any deck that can get white mana for tokens. Just pumping your creatures up to ridiculous proportions very quickly is brilliant. Likewise, Dethiler of Faith's in here. We've gone back to the whatever it was, Dominaria United. There we go. For this one, definitely worth having in the deck. Yes, it costs you 2 life to pay your wife spells, but you're going to be gaining some life with all the things I've mentioned. Anointer Priest, Soul Warden, Soul's Attendant. Might as well get that done. And when you cast your white permanent spells, again, it's a cast trigger. You get a 1/1 white soldier creature token. No brainer, really. Especially if you've got Divine Visitation in play, you can turn all those 1/1s into 4/4 flyers. It's even better. Fumigate's also here for a little bit more board control. And from the Brothers' War, I figured it's worth having a bit of fun with Platoon Dispenser. You can take this one out, you can keep it in, but another way of pumping your mana into things. And at the beginning of your end, so if you control 2 or more other creatures, draw a card. You'll be doing that a lot. A little bit of card draw for white is nice. So hence why it's here. Regina the Redeemed is also here. Obviously, you will be gaining life. You haven't got the partner because the partner's black. But at the beginning of your end step, if your team gained life this turn, create 2 1/1 white warrior creature tokens, which gets even better as things go along. Likewise, I've mentioned Elspeth already. Bit more board control with a -3. And a lot of +1/+1s, 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. Hopefully you can get up to 7 and give all your creatures you control have +2/+2 and flying. Just remember, once you get that emblem in play, no one can take it away from you. Valkyrie Harbinger's also here to give us some more angels. Hopefully we will be able to gain more than 4 life each turn. But even if we can't, if we just get 1 attack in with them against something that hasn't got any way of blocking flyers, you're going to get the angel. So, it's all good. And Gemini Engine. I'm going to be really honest about this. I put Gemini Engine in as a bit of a, let's do this because it'll be fun. I'm not 100% sure what happens to the token the extra token you may create off Moondrake or Anointed Procession. I have a feeling they would get sacrificed because they're a copy of the token. But I'm not sure. So you may build up more Gemini engines, or you may just end up with a tap 3/4 every turn that attacks and produces more. I'm not sure. If any judges are out there watching this video and can tell me one way or the other, if you could leave a note in the comment, I'd really appreciate it. But hey, we're going to try it and see what happens in this deck. Moving on, Ancient Gold Dragon, token producer as it comes in. Yes, they're fairy dragons that are blue, but hey, we'll get them into play somehow. And Solar Migration, nice way of evoking things and getting some flying bird tokens if you need some blockers. Because we are playing so many things, I did go think about this. With Nykthos, I have still played Legion Loyalty. You get to create a token that's a copy, and I think you're going to get more tokens when you attack because of Mondrak or Anointed Procession. I think that's how it works. Again, not sure. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, so we'll see what happens with it. So it'll be a good laugh. The final ones are a lot of X-Spells. Well, Storm Herd, I don't know why it comes after the X-Spells. I never understand that. But Storm Herd's funny. 10 mana, get all those Pegasus creature tokens with flying where X is your life total. I think it's a fun card. It's a way of getting some really big tokens really quickly. So, yeah. But 10 mana is expensive, I get that. But hopefully, with the ramp we've got, with Nykthos, we'll be able to get there a little bit quicker than we would normally. The other ones are all X-Spells, so Secure the Waste for the Warriors. Instant speed, though. Bear that in mind. Having it at instant speed is a lot better. Finale of Glory gets us the soldiers, and if we get it out for, spend 12, 13 mana on it, because we've got the 10 or more, we get angels as well, which is nice. Grand Crescendo is purely here to give our creatures indestructible. It's not here. We're not going to, we may pay a bit if we've got the mana to do it, but 2 mana to make all our creatures indestructible until the end of turn saves us from damnation, wrath of God, so on and so forth. It just doesn't save us from exile effects. Bear that in mind. Although I'm probably talking to the converted if you're still here on the video. White Sun's Twilight is also here, along with the Zenith. Twilight gives us a little bit different way of winning the game with the poison creatures. Hopefully we'll get it off for X's 5 or more. Likewise, White Sun's Zenith here gets shuffled back in. We get cat tokens from this one. Seemed like a reasonable payoff to me. Decree of Justice. Yeah. No, you're probably never going to cast it for its mana value. I mean, for one angel, for one 4/4 angel, it costs you 6 mana. Which probably isn't worth it, but cycling it and paying all the extra mana to get the soldier tokens, yeah, that's more doable. Again, tiny little bit of card draw. The one that a lot of people don't expect to see in token decks, however, is Hangerback Walker. Come on. There we go. My plan for this would be to make XX as big as possible when I cast it, so that when it dies, I get all those Thopter artifacts that come into play as 1/1 flying tokens. And hopefully get a whole load extra of them, either because I've got Anointed Procession out, or Moondrak's out, or something's out that does it, and it doubles it all up. And that's my plan. So, that's my slightly longer than usual. The videos have been recently, take on Moondrak, but I think it's worth talking about this one. It's going to be fun. I haven't seen it played yet on MTGO, so it will turn up on my stream at some stage this week. Possibly, come and have a look at the stream. The link's down below. Come and join me. Come and watch me play it. And I will be playing it at some stage after this video's gone up. So thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Let me know what I've missed out in the deck. And, I can always adjust the deck. I'm more than happy with feedback. And I try and respond to every comment I get on my YouTube videos. So thanks for watching. And hopefully I'll meet you on stream at some stage soon. Take care. Bye.